President Obama is the 44th President of the United States. He grew up in Indonesia, then went to Hawaii from 5th grade to 12th grade. From there on, Barack Obama went to Columbia University, then to Harvard Law. With his law degree under his belt, he became a state senator for the state of Illinois. As a state senator, Obama co-sponsored bills that restructured the Illinois Welfare Program, instituted a $100 million earned income tax credit, required advance notice before mass layoffs, and was a part of expanding child health care. As a U.S. Senator, Obama worked on immigration reform, campaign finance reform, climate control, and troop reduction. As president, President Obama was instrumental in the U.S.'s view of climate change. As the first president to officially declare climate change as real, President Obama envisioned a economy-wide cap-and-trade system, which would have set a nationwide limit on greenhouse gas emissions. The U.S. companies under this act would be granted allowances to produce these climate-altering gases. Companies that produce less than their allowance could sell or trade permits to emit more to companies that could not reach their goals. Obama also helmed the Paris Agreement. President Obama thought that if they could bring the two biggest producers of greenhouse gases together, the United States and China, they could lower global emissions. The agreement wanted to strengthen the global response to the threat of climate change by keeping a global temperature rise this century well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industry levels, and to pursue efforts to limit the temperature increase even further to 1.5 degrees Celsius. The multiple parties of the treaties have to report regularly on the emissions and on their implementation efforts. The parties in the treaty also aim to reach global peaking of greenhouse gas emissions as soon as possible, so as to achieve a balance between human beings' emissions by sources and removals by sinks of GHGs in the second half of the century. When President Obama first took office, the auto industry in America was declining at a rapid pace. The American auto industry was shredding jobs by hundreds of thousands. With GM and Chrysler on the brink of failure and facing the possibility of liquidation would have caused at least 1 million more jobs to be lost across the supply chain and around the country. The auto industry also left Detroit bleeding, as its unemployment rate was heading for a peak of 25%. President Obama intervened and provided federal temporary assistance to the auto industry. It also brought in a federal assistant to help the mayor and the business community of Detroit so it could avoid a massive downfall. Because of his intervention, manufacturing has created nearly 900,000 new jobs in the past 6 years, and the auto industry had its best year in 2015. Detroit also has improved as unemployment is now half. With an emergency loan of $57 billion, the Obama administration brought GM and Chrysler back. The emergency loan has been repaid in full as well.